Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the White Page Leadership Conclave 2020. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the new age rules post COVID 19. And we are talking about the pandemic, we are talking about the corporate world, we are talking about how things have changed in the last 9 months. I have seen a lot of change happen around businesses, around the corporate world, in boardrooms. I am talking to you through an online platform today, whereas under normal circumstances, I would have been in between you and we would have had our normal physical interaction. But as humans, we are a resilient kind. We have evolved out of the most difficult situations, and I'm sure we will evolve out of the pandemic too. Under these circumstances, in the last 9 months, I have seen how businesses have evolved. We, again, as humans, are intelligent people. I have seen how the corporate world is changing, has changed. Uh, Board meetings have gone online. All decisions with the right decision makers is being taken online, whether it is through the media or whether it is through a normal board meeting, but now on an online platform like the way I'm talking to you right now. I have seen startups in this period of time, and I will give you some examples about these startups that I've seen, and they have done brilliantly well, even during the pandemic that we have seen so far. People who were doing, your normal jobs, a 9 to 5, going to office, they have come up with these brilliant ideas. Let me give you an example of a company in the UK. Once the university started and kids went back to schools and colleges, there were these kids who thought, we can't get food in time, online deliveries are taking too long. What can we do? How can we provide for this large student population? And they actually started asking people for donations, and they started getting food in donation to their university halls. And what they did, the brilliant idea they came up with was they started packing this food which was being donated to them, and they started selling it online and deliver it to other students throughout the UK at a very minimal cost, because students, don't have too much money to spend on other things. And under these circumstances where they cannot even get a part-time job, it became even more difficult. So hats off to these guys who really came up with an idea like that. So for me, this is a small part of the corporate world which is being changed. I don't think the corporate world would have gone this way in the past. Another example that I would like to give you is a school out of a place in Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh in India, a 43-year-old school with that actual old school thinking, has come up with this brilliant idea where they have started an online school. And in this online school, believe it or not, the fees is only about 6,000 rupees approximately for the whole year. Some people who are watching this would probably spend 5 times that amount over a dinner. So imagine now this school is going to bring education to what we call the last mile. The last mile connectivity will actually have this school where a student who could not afford to go to a private school or even a government school, let's say there were no roads, there were no transportation, there was nothing, today can learn. And how you bring change in any kind of setup is by educating people. For me, my motto in life is educate, educate, and educate. Because if your population is educated, the difference they can bring to the whole phenomena, whether it is business, politics, or any kind of thing we have going on, can change, can entirely change. Another startup that I would like to talk about today is a search engine. which is specifically again designed for kids, students. Because today, if your 8-year-old goes on Google and by mistake searches for something they should not see, Google doesn't have an idea not to throw up that search on them and related items. Whereas this company has come up with a search engine which is aimed at primary schools, and it's backed by artificial intelligence. And you will think why I'm bringing all these topics. I will explain it after I've explained the startup to you. So the platform learns how a student is searching for whatever education material they're searching for. And based on their searches, they throw up related material which is good for the student, not what they don't want to see or what the parents will not want the children to see. You know, in a pandemic like this, when the parents are involved, they're on their tabs, they're on their computers, they might not have the time to look at their children. And this is where you need a startup like that. Is doing brilliantly well. Another one that I'll talk to you about, which is a very traditional business, a garment business. And this gentleman, when the pandemic started, had a, let's say, a panic attack. And he thought, what is it that I can do? How the corporate world will help me now? Because I'm gone. My garment business is gone. Shops are shut. We are under lockdown. And then he gave me a call and he said, Taha, what I have decided, I'm going to go online. I'm going to create a platform. And today, his brand, which is Genie London, is all over. He cannot believe what a change he's brought into his business by going online. So we are emphasizing a lot of things online. Again, like I said, healthcare, for example, has improved because we are eating healthy at home. We are walking more, we are exercising more because we have the time. And you will think, how do we have this time? Because I'm not spending 3 hours commuting. I'm not in a car. I'm not in a tube. I'm not in a train. So these 3 hours that I have, I'm exercising. Although, you can see I've put on a few pounds. I'm sorry to say that, but maybe the camera also brings it out. Pollution has improved all over the world. I mean, in Delhi, blue sky was seen after probably 30 years. So a lot of changes have happened because of the pandemic. Um, the property scenario has changed worldwide. You know, some properties have become affordable, some properties are not affordable. Commercial rents have come down, residential rents have come down. So there is a lot of things which are helping people, maybe in business or maybe out of business. But the world is changing, probably for the good, I believe. The government policies are changing. I'm going to talk about a UK government policy, which was eat out, help out. When the lockdown was the first lockdown was over, they gave the hospitality industry a sigh of relief by bringing in this policy wherein when people were going out to eat between Monday to Wednesday, half of their bill was paid by the government, which again is unheard of. A government wouldn't have done that before to help anybody. And this is the kind of change we are seeing in the corporate world. I'll come to media. The way we are consuming media is very different now. Your online media platforms have seen a growth of about 500%. Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime. And talking about Amazon, today Amazon's share is trading at the highest in the world. Who could have thought about these online platforms being the way the world would be interacting? Maybe with the news, maybe with the general entertainment, or maybe whatever we are watching. There are no cinemas around today. You can't go to a cinema. So your entertainment is through these online platforms. Talking about all of this, you have to see in the background, the corporate world has changed. The way the business is being done is changed. Why? Because today our interaction is through an online medium. Today our interactions are become more focused because maybe you're in office, you're physically there, you meet, you have a coffee, you have a tea, time is spent differently. But today you're just spending time on the task given to you. And this is where I think we are bringing out the optimum from an employee. We are bringing out the optimum from a manager. We are bringing out an optimum from everybody who's a part of the business. So the corporate world will see more changes. We have seen the hospitality industry has taken a big hit. We have seen the airline industry has taken a big hit. So, in my opinion, there will be substitutes and there will be more innovations. Artificial intelligence, which we spoke about, blockchain that we spoke about earlier, is going to become pivotal. Businesses will pivot. They will pivot towards artificial intelligence. They will pivot towards blockchain. Talking about blockchain, uh, United Kingdom has made it mandatory that once a product enters the borders of United Kingdom, we want to know where exactly was that product sourced from. We are talking about in the form of I'm wearing a suit. If my coat came from Vietnam, we want to know where did the cotton or the wool came from. And that's where the blockchain ledger will come into play. We will use more artificial intelligence in knowing human behavior. We will use more artificial intelligence, not just for human behavior, but even for virology purposes, for a pandemic like this. How can we resolve issues and how can we make the workforce, which is in our corporate world, come up to speed to this? Because people have to learn to work with artificial intelligence. People have to learn to work with blockchain. And these are the kind of changes which I see coming very soon into the market. I hope I have been uh, I have given you enough information. I have enlightened you enough about what is to come. And I hope you have a very enjoyable conclave. And I look forward to meeting you very soon once we are allowed to travel and once we are allowed to interact. Thank you very much for listening to me. And I wish you all the best. And I wish the conclave of success. Thank you.